Hi everybody, it's Robin with Uniquely Robins. We're going to look at some of this. We had talked about before about doing some dried flowers. And this product here is called Silica Gel Flower Drying. You can get it on Amazon. I just tried to look it up, and right now it's disconnected, but they do have other kinds that are basically the same thing. I'm pretty sure this was somewhere between $15 and $20. So I was looking it up to see how much it was because I couldn't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's right in there somewhere. So it wasn't real expensive. And you get this big bag. I think this is a 5-pound bag, I do believe. So it's a good sized bag. And it says it takes about a week to 7 to 10 days. I have some in here that I've already put in. I haven't looked at them yet, so we're going to look at them together. I'm going to get me a real soft bristled brush here, probably a couple of them. We'll get this one and this little one because we get cracks with them. And then we're going to, I went out to the garden and picked a few things that we're going to put in there to dry. So you can see the entire process, and then when they're dry, I'll show you those too. But these are the ones I put in to dry, and I just laid them. I laid a little bit of the silicone in the bottom, or the little gel. It's like looks like sand. But I put that in the bottom, and then I laid the flowers on top, and then poured the silicone gel over top of it, or silica gel is what it's called, not silicone, silica, to cover them up. And this will dry them out, and it's supposed to keep them looking the same as when you put them in there. So let's see. I'm going to use the end of this to try to find them. So here's one. Set them aside over here so we can use these in projects. Oops. A lot of sand in there. Oh, these ones are falling apart. I think I left those in there too long. Actually, those will dry by themselves just fine. I may have left these in too long because they've been in there a couple weeks. I put them in there the day I went in the hospital, and I think I left them in too long and they got a little too dry. But these are they're real delicate when you get them out. These are the Gomphrena, Truffle of Pink Gomphrena. And as I said, those do normally dry very good by themselves. This one was a petunia, and I don't think it did very well. I think they are a little too delicate. I was thinking when I put them in there that would probably not work. Since I left these in so long, that's another reason why we're going to do them again, so we can get a better test of so there was a rose. They're really dry. I mean, you could use these petals, but I think I left them in too long because it does say 5 to 7 days, and they've been in there a couple weeks, so well, almost 3 weeks. So that's why we're going to try it again, because I don't want to. Oh, here's a baby rosebud, and that turned out really well. If you can see that, that turned out really well. And there's another Truffle of Pink Gomphrena. I really think I left them in too long. Trying to get the sand out of it, or the gel stuff. I've actually been in here so long I don't even remember exactly what all I put in there. So I'm kind of sifting through the sand to find them. sweet pea rose. I don't remember what these were that I put in here. Here's another one of those little sweet pea roses. Alright, let's see if we can. Well, there's another one, little baby rose. The little baby roses did really well. These are just rose petals. I did some just rose petals because we're gonna make some soap. We're gonna put some rose petals in. Coming up. That is all that's in there. Whoops. Okay. Alright. Let me grab something real fast here. I don't know what I did with it. I have a little rake-like thing that probably should use to clean this out. And you may want to, once you get all your flowers out, you may want to run it through like a, I don't know, some kind of a really fine sieve or something to, one, make sure you got all your flowers, and for two, to get all the little bits and pieces that didn't come out. Of course, we're not going to worry about that today. Now in here, I have, come here you, one of the hydrangeas from out front. It wouldn't fit in that tub. So, and what I did with this was I just put a little on the bottom, then I stuck it in there, and then I put some of the silica, and then I pounded it down and kept adding and pounding down until it seemed like it covered as much as possible. So I'm not sure how this is going to turn out because that is the way I did it. But we're going to do that, and I kind of had to stuff it in this because since I stuffed it in there, it's going to have the shape of my tube that I used. But it did hold its color really nice. It didn't turn brown like sometimes they do. You can see I'm shaking seeds out too. Okay. But you definitely don't want to put it in a container that makes it the shape of your container, because it was a really pretty shape. But you see how brittle they are? They're nice and dry. Just try to get as much of this out as I can. I'm going to set this aside. Kind of wild how I dried it in that shape. Okay, I'm going to pour this back in this container, as much of it as I can. You probably want to have another extra container just in case. I'm going to make sure everything's out of here as much as I can. Okay. Oh, there's another little baby rosebud. Those baby rosebuds turned out really nice. Okay. Now, let me grab a container to pour this into. And we're going to put some more in, and this time only leave them in as long as you're supposed to. I think I over-dried those, but I really didn't have a choice in that. Okay. A little more in there. Okay. So this is what I did, was I put just a little bit in the bottom. Probably just pour out a little bit more even. Okay. So I just want enough to cover the bottom so that the air is not getting to my flowers. And I kind of piled it up on the edges a little bit just to make sure no air is going to get in when we place our flowers. Okay. So let's start with, I have this little rose and I'm taking the stems off, and I'm just going to kind of nestle it down in there as gently as I can. It's probably best to put them in when they just first bloom. Some of these may have been out there for a little while, I'm not exactly sure. The rosebuds did really well, so trying to put all the roses in this corner so I kind of know where they're at, kind of, sort of. This one's a pretty good size. So what I'm going to do with him, since he is a pretty good size, I'm going to pour some straight down in there. There we go. What else we have? Here's a bloom off of the butterfly bush. And I'm sure some probably dry better than others' flowers. It's kind of an experiment for me. I've never done this before. So I thought, why not take you a trash can over here. What else do we have? This is a type of clematis, which is kind of a unique shape. So let's try a couple of those. We didn't have these kind in there last time. And we have some let's try this. Oh, down there. Now, I'm cutting all the green off. I was told that that was the proper way to dry your flowers. Take the greenery off. So let's lay that right there. If you have any petals that are browned, or you probably want to pull those off. That's what I'm doing here. This is a good size rose here. And even if it just dries the petals, I'm good with that. Oh, got a friendly little ant. Came with my flowers brought in from outside. Okay. And I have this delicate little hydrangea, pink hydrangea. We're going to put him right there. Okay. We have some sedum here. Pull some of these off. Again, taking the leaves off of them. I'm going to cut it right there. have some blooms from my fountain grass. I was gonna try to put a couple of those in there. I don't know how. Ooh, that's all white and sticky. Is that them? Fountain grass evidently has some stickiness to it. So I'm gonna slide these in under some of this other stuff. Try to get them all the way in. There we go. Move this over a little bit. I'm gonna put just a few more of those in there. I don't know if these will dry well or not, but we're gonna give her a shot. Okay. All right. All right, now we're gonna cover this with gently as possible. Trying not to damage the flowers and get in all them little cracks and crevices. Make sure we get all of that. Actually follow the directions this time. Maybe that'll help. Not leave it in there forever, but you know, life happens. Okay. You want to make sure everything is covered completely. Oops. That's a piece of that dried hydrangea. It's really cute. So we just want to make sure we get it covered completely, gently as possible. All right, shake it just a little bit to even it out. I think we have everything covered, and it says to put it in a closed place. That's why I had the lid on. Well, all right, I'm gonna put these, all that we took out, on this paper. Set it aside. Okay. And then we're going to cover them up again. So we will check on these next Tuesday, and that'll be 7 days, and then if they still don't seem dry, then we'll leave them in for 3 more days and see and check them again. But it says 7 to 10 days, so that should be good. Now this one, I think we're going to try to put a couple of things in there too. Hopefully not as big as that last one, so that it doesn't take the form of the container. So we're gonna put, and you can use this stuff that says over and over and over and over and over, so that's a good thing. All right, what do we have left in here? Let's see. Let's try a couple of petals of this. Runaway ant. Worst thing about bringing flowers in your house, you get ants. Come in with them. Or some kind of buggies. Alright, I think I want to stick one of these in there with it, because there's still some room. Just stripping all the... I'm going to leave the stem on this. It probably won't dry, but we'll see. It'll give us a test to see. And it'll give us something to hold on to when we're trying to get it out of there. Let's add some more. Real gently. Let's try to put one of these sedums in there. Trying to shake and make sure there was no bugs in there. And I'm going to lay this kind of close to the top and cut it off a little lower so I can still get the lid on there. I don't have this stuff everywhere. Okay. Just gently tapping it. That's going to get down in any little crack or crevice that we might have missed. Sorry for the noise. Got a little bit more to cover up. And that should do it. And then we'll put the lid back on that. And we'll check him at the same time. A little left in there. You can pour it back in the bag when you're done, and you know it says you can reuse it and reuse it and reuse it, so that's good. Oh, I got a mess everywhere. Okay, just want to let you in a little bit too on some of the projects that we have coming up, and we got some exciting ones coming up. We are going to do our 3-tier trays. We're going to do some of those. We're going to do a little hand tray that you might want to sit on your bed, or a footstool in your living room, something like that. We also have, my husband and I picked up 2 pedal cars. One's a fire truck and one is just a regular pedal car. It's kind of like an old school Model A or Model T or something like that. In very, very bad shape. So we are going to restore those. And we're going to take you along so you can see the process of that and how it turns out. I think that is going to be a very, very fun project. We're hoping to do them for resale. Of course, we have 2 smaller grandkids that may not let us sell them. So we're going to do them for either resale or them, whichever. But I think they're going to love them and not let us get by with getting rid of them. So we'll see how that goes. But we're going to try our hand at that. And if it turns out nice and it's a fun project, we may do a couple more. You never know. What else do we have coming up? Let's see. We're going to make some bathroom jars to hold like Q-tips and cotton balls. I have lots of projects coming up. And we're going to do, in between, you know, those, so we're going to do some paper projects too. I'm going to try to make a schedule to where like, a couple of days a week we do trash to treasure projects, and then a couple of days a week we do the paper projects, and a couple of days just regular crafts. because this channel is basically a craft channel. We do all kinds of crafts. So I want to get into the flow of trying to make them on certain days. That way people who are just interested in one or the other will know about what day those will be coming out. So thanks everybody. Show the ladies down below some love. Also, I am going to work on this week. I will be getting a second Facebook page put up, and it will be strictly for selling. If you are a member of my Facebook group, you will be able to have access to this page, and you can put anything you want up there for sale, any kind of craft whatsoever, or items to make crafts with, you know, laces and, you know, bits and bobs and that kind of stuff. But you will be able to have access to that. I will never tell anybody they have to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am going to put up there that I would appreciate it if, you know, that would also be part of you selling on my Facebook pages, that you I would appreciate it if you did subscribe to my YouTube channel, but I will never tell anybody that they have to, because I think that's just wrong. But as long as you are a member of my Facebook group, you will be able to sell on this Facebook page. That way it'll give everybody a little bit of an outlet of where they can sell their stuff, because some people just make ephemera. And people like to buy just ephemera because they like to make the books, but they don't like to do the ephemera. And some people like to do the ephemera, but don't like to make the books. So you can buy whatever you need up on there. Trash to treasure projects, you know, if you pick something up at a flea market and you just don't have time to do it or don't want to do it, you think somebody might have a good time restoring it or fixing it up into something else, you'll have an outlet, a place to put that. And I don't charge for people. I'm not going to charge for people putting stuff on that group to sell. It's just an extra perk of being a member of my Facebook group, is that you will have this selling page. So I hope everybody likes that. If anybody has any questions about that or anything that you want to add to that, you know, leave me a message down below. If there's something you see that you want me to make, or you see something in the store but it's like outrageously priced and you want to see if there's a cheaper way to make it, you know, let me know, send me a picture of it, and I'll try to figure out how to make it for you. Because that's how I got started in crafts, is I found stuff that I really liked, but it was way expensive and I wasn't paying that price for it. So I just went home and tried and then figured out a way to make it. So yeah, I think people call those dupes or something, but yeah, if you see something out there that, oh man, I'd really like to have that, but I'm not paying that price for it, or that's an outrageous price for it, you know, send me a picture of it. You can email me if you don't want to put it on the comments, or put it in the comments, whichever you prefer, and let me take a look at it, and I'll see if I can come up with something. So hopefully we'll have a lot of fun. Thanks everybody for hanging in there with me, and I apologize for not being on the last couple of weeks, but you know, life happens and sometimes we just can't do it. But hopefully we're going to be on a roll here. So thanks everybody. Bye bye.